Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Ms. Secretary. So a statement was made yesterday offering condolences to the passing of the president of Iran, Mr. Raisi. He died in a helicopter crash. He was a protege of the supreme leader who earned his nickname, the Butcher of Tehran, for his role in mass executions of thousands in 1988. His tenure as president was marked by the brutal repression of women and girls, the enrichment of uranium, a violent crackdown on mass protests in 2022, and direct attacks on Israel from Iranian soil. I'd like to offer my condolences to the victim of the Butcher of Tehran. To the Iranian people, we stand with you and hope and pray for the day of your liberation comes from the Ayatollah and his henchmen. As to the world, it's pretty much on fire. It seems to be not a good time now to take resources off the table that can prevent things from getting worse. The World Food Program has doubled the number of people it serves in 2 years. Now, does that matter to you at home? Yes, it does. If people can't eat and can't feed their family, they're likely to do almost anything. What would you do to feed your family? So I don't want to help the terrorists. I want to make their life more difficult. This is a very small percentage of overall federal spending, and every time I turn around, we seem to want to cut this program. You know, I'm a pretty hawkish guy, but soft power matters. I've been to all over the world, most of you. A little bit of money spent well goes a long way. Feeding people keeps them from moving around and migrating and creating pressure on neighboring countries. So you're either going to pay now or you're going to pay later. So I'm hoping that the Congress will recognize that the investments we make in this account are national security in another form. And if you don't get that by now, you have missed a lot. As to the war in Israel, I stand with Israel without apology. I hope one day to be able to end this conflict in a way where the Palestinian people have hope they don't have today, and Israel have security it deserves, and maybe we can integrate the region with a deal with Saudi Arabia and Israel. And I've enjoyed working with you, Mr. Secretary, on trying to find a way to normalize between Saudi Arabia and Israel and having a Palestinian component. I look forward to that. In the middle of all this, the International Criminal Court, out of nowhere, decided to indict or issue an arrest warrant for the Prime Minister of Israel, an elected leader by one of the most robust democracies on the planet. If you don't like the government in Israel, stick around. They change every 3 or 4 months. They have one of the most robust judiciaries anywhere on the planet, known for their independence. I have been working with many members of this committee to talk with the International Criminal Court. Number one, we believe that you've overstepped your mandate. Where's the complementarity? So Israel is not a member of the ICC. For some reason, they granted state status to the Palestinians in 2015 when nobody else has, and they're now claiming jurisdiction over the state of Israel. Under the Rome Statute, before the ICC can act, it limits the ICC action in situations when a nation is unable or unwilling to proceed with an investigation or if the investigation is conducted in bad faith. Now, you must have concluded that the judiciary in Israel they don't act in good faith. I would assure you that if you do wrong in the IDF, you can get court-martialed like you can here. The ICC was never meant for missions like this. So there was a meeting to be discussed yesterday. May 20th, a representative of the ICC was supposed to land in Israel at 6 o'clock to set up a meeting between Israel and the prosecutor, ICC prosecutor, to talk about what Israel's doing, what concerns the ICC has, to invoke complementarity. Well, what happened? Israel was informed that the people from the ICC never boarded the plane, and we find out that the ICC prosecutor, Mr. Khan, had done an interview with CNN days before, or hours before, I think it's days before, saying he was going to issue arrest warrants for the defense minister and the prime minister. That's not good faith. I was on a phone call with 8 members of the United States Senate asking the ICC at least to talk to Israel before you move forward. They gave Venezuela 9 months. Clearly, we were lied to and misled. You had done an interview with CNN before the plane was to depart. So the idea you're going to collaborate apparently was a sham. So we, hopefully, together will find a way to register our displeasure with the ICC, because if they'll do this to Israel, we're next. This group tried to come after our soldiers. Yeah, you can clap all you want to. They tried to come after our soldiers in Afghanistan, but reason prevailed. So at the end of the day here, what I hope to happen is that we level sanctions against the ICC for this outrage to not only help our friends in Israel, but protect ourselves over time. Mr. Secretary, your statement yesterday was excellent. The President's statement was excellent. Senator Schumer's statement on the floor was excellent about the outrage here. They have destroyed the notion of complementarity. They have misled people in the United States Senate about their intention, and they shall and will pay a price. Mr. Secretary, I appreciate what you've said. It is now time for us to act.